G'day guys, today I'm just making a video about a AR build I've had pretty much since starting the game because I fancy ARs. I'm not too sure if this build's like anyone else's that have made videos on it. I've seen a few videos, I haven't fully seen them, but I have noticed a couple of people getting around with like, laser rifle AR builds, etc. that don't miss a shot. I've just noticed that mine's been doing, about 1 to 1.6 million DPS, and every now and then it'll jump to 2 million. So I thought I'll just quickly make a video just showcasing what I've got. So here are the skills, the talents and stuff. So I've got a lot of hard hitting for damage to elites, berserk on the chest. I'll go over that when I look through the items, but the raw stat wise that I've got 14.2k weapon damage, 42% critical hit chance, 45% critical hit damage, 55% headshot damage, 34 range. Not too sure if the range reload time really matters that much with what I'm using. Offensive wise, all weapons damage 23%, assault rifle damage 33%. Damage to elites is 91%. I'm not really going to go over 91% because I'm doing enough damage to them as it is. I still want to maintain my crit and such. As you may have noticed, I'm not really the tankiest build. Normalization on, normalization off. As you can tell, it's quite low for the armor. But I do dish out a lot of damage. So as long as I take cover and be smart about what I'm doing and not just standing out in the open, it works pretty well. Item wise, I'm using a FEMIS, non-normalized 14.2k damage, 990 RPM. That's with the 10% extra fire rate ability on it, talent on it. And Ranger, this is one that came with it that I really like. I absolutely love having this on ARs. Every 5 meters I am from the target grants 2% weapon damage. Absolutely love that ability. I paired it with the Chatterbox, so obviously, as pretty much all of you should know by now, the Chatterbox holster ability, reloading your weapon within 5 seconds after a kill grants 20% rate of fire for 10 seconds. This is absolutely phenomenal on the FAMAS. Item wise, pistol. The one reason I have this pistol in particular is the holster ability, so I'm able to withstand 5 ensnare effects. So those NPCs that walk around with the firearm, I can actually, it doesn't affect me 5 times within 60 seconds, which is absolutely helpful. I quite like it a lot. Mask, Douglas and Harding, 3.5% critical hit chance, damage to elites 31%, and hard hitting for 15% damage to elites. I've got the three-piece set bonus. Sorry about that, I've only just woken up. Three-piece set bonus for the Douglas and Harding, because there's nothing really bad about any of that. Backpack, I'm just using a 511 tactical. I mean, I'd much rather use something like a Badger Tough or a Wyvernware if I can find one that's any decent, because the one-piece set bonus on Badger Tough and Wyvernware is quite nice. 511, just get the weapon damage and critical hit damage. Plus I've got the hard hitting and insulated for hazard protection. Hazard protection, it's not needed, but it is nice when the enemies try and set you on fire and such. Vest wise, Fenris Group 8B, assault rifle damage, obviously that has to be, best in slot one piece set bonus for an assault rifle build by far. There's no way that that's not 10%. It's huge. On top, another 9.5% weapon damage. Critical hit chance 8.5. I got berserk, so 10% weapon damage for every 10% of max armor depleted. I've seen this at 5%, so I think normalized it's 5% weapon damage, and non-normalized it's 10% weapon damage. Hard hitting, 15% damage to elites. It's my favorite chest. I haven't been able to replace it at all. I've come across hundreds of other chest pieces, and I just can't find anything that'll beat this one. For me personally, that is. Gloves, Heraldi Holdings, so 10% accuracy, 8% assault rifle damage on that, and talent devastating, 5% weapon damage. So again, it's just DPS gloves, easy enough. I'm also holding other gloves just for that talent. So surgical 8% crit hit chance. Got another hard hitting down here. Who knows when I'll want to use those. So for the knee pads, just got another Douglas and Harding. I mean, these aren't godlike, but they'll do 4% critical hit chance. I'm mainly using them for the set bonus and hard hitting, 15% damage to elites. Holsters, I'm just using Douglas and Harding again for that 3-piece set bonus. 10.5% critical hit chance, 8% critical hit chance on the talent surgical. So a lot of my crits just on the attributes, and surgical talent helps boost that up. When I'm not using the surgical talent, I'm not critting nearly as much, so I thought I'll keep that on instead of putting, damage to elites onto it. Skill wise, I'm just using the 2 healers. Well, 2 of the healers are Seeker Mine, but it's a survivalist Seeker Mine, so it's the Mender, which just follows me around or an ally around and just keeps putting a little green blotch on the ground underneath them. And then I've got the chem launcher, which is the reinforcer chem launcher, so it gets 3 charges without any bonuses on it. So, because I don't have much skill power, I'm not really running any mods on it, so I'm not getting any bonuses. I don't know if you can get it, so you can basically get an unlimited amount of ammo. I've seen people with the purple cloud on the chem launcher, and they're just sitting there, just shooting it over and over and over and over again. I'm not too sure if that's mods, etc., but that looks nice. But that's about it, so I'll just go to the shooting range real quick and put on an elite, because obviously I have a lot of damage to elites, so it's going to be a bigger number on elites. Straight away, 1.8 million DPS. It's going to vary a lot too, whether I crit or not, so 1.4, 1.5, almost 1.6. You pretty much get the idea. And it's not critting as much, obviously it's lower. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. If you guys, know of any better builds, or you've got your own builds that you've been working on that you'd love to share, feel free to comment and talk about it. I'd love to know more builds. Not many people that I've seen or talked to in the DZ really like sharing what they have, so honestly, the more the merrier. I'm absolutely loving this build that I've got at the moment. And I mean, if you don't have a build and you're getting like, a measly little 300k DPS or whatever, feel free to look at some of people's builds videos, and you don't have to copycat them, but you could use that as a guideline, and you could configure it to how you like it, because obviously not everyone's build is going to work for everyone else. Some people like different things, some people might like crit, some people might like raw damage, others might just like handling, etc. So yeah, that's about it. Again, I'll just bring up the raw stats page. Make sure all of your abilities are active too, is another very important point. You don't really want wasted slots, so at any given point, if you're able to, get an ability that'll work. Doesn't really matter how good the ability is. If it works, it's better than a non-working one. Alright, so raw stats again. I like how that flicks all over the place. Weapons, and down to offense. Easy peasy. And I mean, defense, not as important for what I'm doing specifically. I've got teammates that are tanky and they sit out the front and get shot at, so it's not as important for me. But yeah, no, that's my build, and hopefully that helps a couple of you out. If not, feel free to share your builds, or little tips and tricks that you may have, you may or may not know. it's always good to share these things and get them out there. That way, absolutely everyone is not using a frickin' SMG little vector, little one-shot. God, I hate that build in DZ, but I like it at the same time. It's effective, but oh, it's horrible to see absolutely everyone running with it. It gets old just seeing that over and over. I love getting shot in the head by a good marksman over just getting obliterated by 4 vectors at the exact same time. Just give me an OP LMG build over that any day. I refuse to use that because I just can't. I can't bring myself to just killing things in 0.1 seconds every single time. Go point blank to someone, kill them in 0.1 seconds. You're down the road from, you get absolutely wrecked because you're using a vector. It's just not my idea of fun. But I mean, some people, obviously they like it and that's their thing. Me, I'm all for ARs. But anyway, hopefully everyone has a good day or night, and I also hope that this has brought some kind of insight as to how the AR builds roughly are. I'm not too sure how the other ones are. I haven't really researched them too much, but again, if you've got any tips or tricks for me, feel free to leave them. Alright, peace out.